Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech. Welcome back to another episode of Caffeine and Crypto, where I welcome you to join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice, coffee, energy drink, tea, whatever it might be, as I got something in my eye as we go over this week's crypto news. And boy, what a week! What a week! How are you feeling? Huh? How are you feeling after all that craziness? I still believe there's some pain to be felt in the market, just summarizing it. But in the long term, we still are technically in a bull trend. I'm just in the short term, it's going to be a little bit painful. I was hoping for February to look good. It obviously did not. I was hoping for March and February to look good. It might not. So, yeah, we might have a bounce, right? Because it is March 1st today. Thank you for joining us wherever you are on YouTube, Twitter, X, Twitch. But March might be a down month as well. However, people are starting to receive their tax returns. If not, they'll be receiving it in mid-March, and then they might be able to spend. Now, unfortunately, they're spending most of it on crap coins or meme tokens or projects that aren't going to do anything. And so, obviously, a lot of money is flowing out. And one thing I want to say before we get into today's show is I understand how hard it is right now to hang on to your Bitcoin because you or I got to pay bills. So we liquidate our crypto assets to take care of any unknown expensive, maybe emergency money, bills that got a little bit higher than expected, car note, mortgage, whatever it might be. But the hands of the many are selling into the hands of a few. Even though we did have record outflows in ETFs, the select few, right? The people that actually have the capital, the funds, the money to do it, the cash position to load up on Bitcoin are loading up on Bitcoin, while most of retail is panicking, selling, being fearful. So it's unfortunate, but it is a trend that we've been seeing nonetheless. Besides HBAR, that's in the deep greens, we got a few of the tokens that are up a little bit today relative to where they fell. Looking at the chart, you can see Bitcoin fell all the way down to below 80K. And I mean, it's bounced, right? It's bounced, but can we hold, right? And even if we did climb back up, where would we get suffocated at and possibly pushed back down further? Well, I'm eyeing the 88K area once again. And by the way, in the past couple episodes, if you're new to Caffeine and Crypto and the channel in general, please do me a favor and consider subscribing. But I've been talking over the past couple weeks about my price targets on the way down, right? So when we were at the 95K, 96K area, and I was talking about 94 and 92 and 90 and 88 and 86 and 84, basically every $2,000, right? If you had used Cash App, Coinbase, whatever your favorite application is, Binance US, and you put in positions or custom orders to buy at that as it drops, you would have accumulated quite a bit of Bitcoin. Even if you say, oh, it's only $10, Vega, like, what is $10 going to do? Well, $10 can turn into, in 2045, a pretty significant amount, right? $10 can turn into $200, or $10 can turn into $100, or $10 can turn into 50. So, if you're accumulating, because you can, not everybody can, and I understand that, on the way down, and we looked at the targets together over our past couple weeks throughout February and January, we hit those targets. Of course, we slammed all the way down to, past 80K. Let's just say 80K, 79K, somewhere in there. There was a good opportunity to kick on your bots, if you have bots, like 3 commas, or there's a bunch of other bots out there. I like 3 commas, though, where I turned them back on and started accumulating on the way up. But the bounce may not sustain for long. We could bounce all the way up to 88K and then retrace right back down. Measuring the drop, the beginning of last week was, let's say, February 23rd, right? So looking at Sunday, February 23rd, and go from this wick to where we fell, that is a 19%, almost 20% drop. And that's normal. But there's a lot of new people, a lot of newcomers, so a lot of fear in the space, but 20% drop is not out of the realm of abnormal. So I wouldn't consider this a black swan event, but I am concerned about some sort of black swan event that could impact us, whether it's in 2025 or 2026. I am concerned, taking into account all the various things in motion throughout the world, that a black swan event could impact the crypto ecosystem as well as the traditional finance or markets. But a 19% drop is not that crazy. Now, let's say from where we fell, let's stabilize here around 84K. Let's say 84K. If we were to stabilize here and have a push up, right, or bounce in March over the next 7 days, I could see us getting up to, I wouldn't say 93, but maybe right underneath 92. So that's a 9% increase over the next week. Could be a bounce towards the upside, but it also could be a bounce and then a retrace, right? So goes up and then comes right back down, pushing towards the lower end here, bring Bitcoin back down to a 70K asset, right? So 10% up, 10% down. 70K Bitcoin is not out of the realm of impossible once again. There should be some major support at the 74, at the 72, at the 70, at the 68 to prevent further retracement. But it certainly is possible. And you know, when those prices start to come into effect, when Bitcoin starts to fall to those levels, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on the sidelines waiting for that to happen. I'm not sure we closed the CME gap, but it looks like we're going to. And then Ethereum is not doing too well either. If you look at this chart, it looks horrible. I know a lot of the miners, people who watch this channel, don't give a crap about Ethereum. Ethereum has been on a consistent downtrend, has always looked weak compared to Bitcoin. But I have seen that Ethereum seems to be gaining strength against Solana, believe it or not. But going again here from around Sunday, the beginning of this past week, all the way to where we fell, we're looking at basically a 26% decrease, so a little bit more than Bitcoin. So Bitcoin fell around 20%, Ethereum fell about 26%, right? And that almost pushed us below 2100, but we didn't. And what are the chances that we could fall below $2,000 Ethereum? Well, the chances are there, and unfortunately, I think that could very well happen. So if you're not prepared already and you're hanging on to some Ethereum, I can see Ethereum hitting $1,600 easily. All right, another 25% drop from where it's at. Now, that may not happen in March. That may not happen over the next 7 days of this next week. But I believe Ethereum, if it does not successfully bounce, because every time it's supposed to bounce or supposed to have a good momentum upwards, it's gone down. So Ethereum has not done what I expected it to do. And again, a lot of people in the mining space could give two craps less. Let Ethereum fall, who cares, yada, yada, yada. Both XRP and Solana are both in the same boat. We could have XRP, a sub $2 asset, let's say $1.70, $1.50 is where I'm looking. And then Solana could be a sub $100 asset. And that could unfortunately impact some of the projects that I've been working with on the Solana ecosystem, not only my own, but ones I contributed to in the past, whether it's Cats of Crypto or Jellyfish. Solana falling down to a $100 asset, or sub $100 could suck for that ecosystem, which is where I think could happen. And then Ethereum gained strength against Solana, right? And Solana was supposed to be touted as the Ethereum killer, or whatever project is supposed to be touted as the Ethereum killer. Well, none of the altcoins are doing fucking well. So unfortunate, but whatever. Moving on, Trump to host first White House crypto summit on March 7th. Now, unfortunately, I won't be there. I'm just a regular guy. But you know some of your favorites or some of the top crypto entrepreneurs, activists, political members, or people in the regulatory space are going to be there. But of course, the attendees will include prominent founders, CEOs, investors from the crypto industry, along with members of the President Working Group on Digital Assets. According to the announcement shared by the White House, AI and crypto czar David Sachs in March 1st expos for immediate release, 12/28. That's when it came out yesterday. White House announced it for March 7th, talked about who the attendees would be, so on and so forth. And then DJT says, I am pleased to announce that David O. Sachs will be the White House AI and crypto czar. In an important role, David will guide the policy of the administration in artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, two areas critical for the future of American competitiveness. David will focus on making America the clear global leader in both areas. He will safeguard the free speech online and steer us away from big tech bias and censorship. He will work on a legal framework so the crypto industry has the clarity it has been asking for and can thrive in the U.S. David will also lead the Presidential Council of Advisors of Science and Technology. So, positive momentum still, and we've been getting nothing but positive momentum, right? Most of the news articles we've been going over the past couple of weeks prior to this drop on Bitcoin from the 95, 94 to the 80K range has been positive. It's just not positive enough to really do something, right? It sucks, but it's all positive news, but it's not doing much of anything, right? There's still a lot of uncertainty. There's still a lot of doubt. And if we look at the fear and greed index, it's pretty high. I think we hit extreme fear the other day. So we're down at 20% right now. But still, good to see. Leadership still making moves. We still got the various states that are working to make a strategic reserve for their respective states, right? So it's just a matter of time. Next up, Bitcoin sell-off could be the textbook breakout and retest. Play God Bowl. I don't even know how to say that really. But anyways, the breakout and retest play has its roots in behavioral aspects of trading and investing. Remember the last time you went on vacation, after locking the door and heading toward your car, you likely turned back abruptly to ensure the lock was secure before continuing your journey. I've done that many times. Financial markets, led by the range of human emotions, exhibit similar behaviors. After a convincing move beyond a long-held resistance, assets typically return to confirm the validity of the breakout, right? So it's a retest to confirm. That's what everybody's saying. We needed this move. It is a healthy move. It is a healthy retracement. But this serves as a test of strength of the former resistance turn support, following which bigger rallies unfold, right? So expecting, people are saying this retest is just going to lead into a stronger rally. The breakout and retest play phenomenon is well known across asset classes. Bitcoin ongoing sell-off might just be that, a healthy retest of the breakout point or the former resistance turn support of 73K, breached in November. In other words, the downward momentum could run out of steam at or closer to these levels, potentially setting the stage for a bigger run higher. Would be nice, right? Because we were sitting at that 90, I would say 96 to 90,000 or 96 to 88,000 for the longest time. Just range bound, bouncing along for quite some time. Matter of fact, let's measure this. Actually, where was that? So yeah, 87. I'm gonna go back here. So let's say from here to about, my apologies, I didn't want to sneeze in your ear. But anyways, so from here to here, we've been at this for 104 days, right? So something needed to happen. Something needed to happen. Either we needed to go up or we needed to go down. Sorry. It is pollen season here in Florida. Suckers been dropping it. But people are generally risk averse when it comes to securing gains. So when facing profits, traders quickly book those instead of allowing the winning trade to run wild. The so-called prospect theory explains why post breakout rallies abruptly run out of steam, often leading to a retest of the breakout point. BTC holders have been taking profits around 100K mark since December, which is true. And don't be ashamed to take profits. I believe quite a few of you, if you still have your Bitcoin and you haven't took profits already, you're likely ahead quite a bit. You know, you might have this 2017 Bitcoin or this 2016 Bitcoin or this 2015 Bitcoin or even a 2018 Bitcoin and 2019 that's still significantly up on the original position you got into. So don't be ashamed to take profits whatsoever. I don't think I'm going to go on about this article, but basically, yeah, the breakdown, the retest is positive momentum in itself, but it just has some people concerned. That's all. So we could have a good bounce in March, but me personally, I'm urging caution. You know, dollar cost average, accumulate, but be careful. Don't get too over exuberant. The markets could bounce and look to do a recovery back to that 90K area. But, you know, I have a feeling that we might go up 92, 90K, somewhere in that area, come back down. And if we come back down too hard, we could just break right through what we term support, right? Where the support is right now at 84K-ish area. If we break right through that support, then we're looking at that 82, 80, 78 arena or area for now becoming our next line of defense, so to speak. Bitcoin price struggle due to the absence of positive catalysts. In summary, this article is talking about not having a significant positive catalyst to push Bitcoin to newer heights. And again, there's been positive news, right? Everything from the current administration, the crypto czar, inflows at the time or back then, but it just hasn't been enough to really, you know, push us up into $110,000, $120,000, $125,000. But I will say that many still believe that in 2025, Bitcoin could be a $150,000 asset or above. I'm still kind of feeling it out. I don't really believe that, but 120 is certainly possible, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens here, right? We don't need a black swan event. We can't afford it right now economically for the retailer, the average at-home person, you know, the blue-collar workers. We really can't afford the markets to take too much of a hit due to a black swan event. So we could really not deal with one of those. We could really use not having to deal with one of those. But, you know, black swan events happen spontaneously. It's not like anybody can really avoid that. But if it is avoidable, please, goodness gracious, administration, leaders, political leaders, whoever you are, just please avoid it. Anyways, Bitcoin price started in 2025 with an uninspiring performance in January, moving mostly sideways throughout the month. The premier cryptocurrency negative start to February, dropping around 92,000 on the first day, was a sign of what's to come later this month. Obviously, it fell even further to 80,000, posting one of the worst February performance in recent years, when February notoriously is usually a green month for crypto or specifically for Bitcoin. While several experts have shared their thoughts and analysts in the market downturn, analysts at crypto exchange Coinbase are among the latest to weigh in on the latest Bitcoin February record. David Han and David Dong revealed that crypto and Bitcoin markets are in a somewhat uncertain state. The shift in the market condition follows the 1.4 billion Bybit hack and decline in macroeconomic environment. Which, by the way, like, it's Ethereum. The Bybit hack was Ethereum. So that wouldn't affect the Bitcoin price. And I don't think much moved from the funds that were stolen from Bybit. But I could be wrong. I haven't been able to keep up with every single address that the attackers use. But anyways, according to Coinbase analysts, the latest trade tariff news and decline in consumer sentiment index impacted the crypto United States stocks markets earlier this week. We even have the S&P, I believe, was down 2.3% or something like that. However, the equities market bounced back due to improved investor sentiment after the U.S. House of Representatives approved the year's budget during the week. The Bitcoin price, on the other hand, didn't show the same level of resilience in the last 7-day period, struggling to reclaim some of the crucial psychological levels above the 95K. Now the flagship cryptocurrency trades just above the 80K mark. We're at 84. So we did, you know, start to have a bounce. Ethereum hasn't had that bounce, but it could in this upcoming week. We'll have to just wait and see. And just sentiment's down, right? Like right now, you who are watching, how do you feel about Bitcoin? Seriously, like, how do you feel about Bitcoin? Are you buying more? Are you sitting back and waiting? Are you super bullish on it and you're like throwing everything you possibly can financially at it to try to get as much as possible? Like, how are you feeling about Bitcoin? Because I know a lot of people are just taking a wait and see approach, right? Look at this market, right? Besides HBAR, right, which is the only one green, besides maybe some stable coins, everything else is looking pretty sad. Bitcoin struggles below 85K as ETF outflows reach record high. This is another one, right? I forgot what the records were. Let's see if we can find that real quick. So Bitcoin fell to 3-month low, and add insult to injury, spot ETFs registered over 1 billion in outflows, resulting in continued downward pressure as the price of the largest digital asset earlier today at 10:44 Eastern Standard was trading at 87K, reflecting a 0.77 decline since yesterday and a significant 10%, almost 9% drop over the past 7 days, according to the coin market cap data. So record outflows. Concerns with the consumer sentiment, the what was it called again? God, I can't shake this allergies. I got something right here. Right here. Sorry about that, guys. Ladies and gents, sorry. I don't know what's going on. But geez Louise. Yeah. So weak investor sentiment. But there was another one. CPI. What's the CPI at? Anyways, there's just not much there. That's what it is, right? There's just not much there. Matter of fact, let's go look at the dominance. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance is at 60%. Altcoins is at basically 40%. So Bitcoin dominance is climbing. Altcoin dominance is falling. Altcoin season still never came. Everybody's been waiting for it, but it doesn't seem to have been coming. You know, I don't think what happened with all the meme coins, whether it was Trump coin, Melania coin, Pepe, SHIB, Doge, doesn't matter. And I wouldn't even put Doge in the meme coin category. I think Doge is the most stable, one of the more stable assets like Litecoin out there. Litecoin was actually doing well compared to Bitcoin and the rest of the market. But the meme coin craze where everybody was just gambling money, I think would have been better spent in Bitcoin or into some of the top 10 assets, because most of those people got wrecked. Yeah, a handful of people that rugged and took people's money, you know, got investor money and then dipped the hell out, like Hawk Tua or others, you know, they made money. But the majority of the ecosystem followed in behind them, got wrecked, and that money would have been better spent helping out Bitcoin. So I think they need to stop gambling as much, stop playing around, and start saving up for the future, right? Their future, not our future, their future, right? If you invest in Bitcoin, you're trying to build your future, not my future, not the government's future, not somebody else's future, your future. But if you're spending it in meme coins, yeah, out of 1,000, you might have one that pops off, or maybe 3 that pops off, but you're going to get wrecked on the rest of them. Why are you throwing away money like that? But it's your money, so you can do what the hell you want. Either way, record outflows, sentiment's down, Bitcoin takes a huge hit. But I think this is perfectly healthy, and this is just more of a buying opportunity for us to accumulate more Bitcoin, unless you want it all to be in the hands of the suits. And yes, I said suits. I've been calling on that for a long time, right? Satoshi didn't want the suits in the game. It was meant for the people. The FBI wanted to have a sit down. He took his name off the paper. He dipped out. We haven't seen him. We haven't heard from him. And Bitcoin has now turned into a game for the suits, a game for the regulators or the stock traders or the brokers or the whatever, the banks. It still can't be controlled by them. They can participate, and so can we. They can't stop us from participating, and we can't stop them from participating. But they're getting up a majority of the Bitcoin. We only have a small handful. So when it does do very well, you know, besides a few countries that already had Bitcoin since earlier, and a few retail investors that had a significant amount of Bitcoin, it's mostly going to be the suits and the higher ups, the people that are already wealthy or already doing well. They're going to make more money. So we get stuck like Chuck again. But that's just the way the world works. Welcome to a capital market. So stop selling your Bitcoin unless you absolutely need to, because of that emergency I was talking about. Stop selling your Bitcoin into their hands, please. If you can avoid it, please avoid it. But anyways, it's talking about the same levels. Bitcoin ability to hold above 80K. Bitcoin manages to reclaim the 90K mark, 92.5. If it falls further, there's 83, 82, 80. Same levels that I was talking about. Same levels that I've been keeping an eye on for. And again, if you got the ability to put in some positions, go put in one at, we just crest 85K, but go ahead and put one in around 82.3. Go ahead and put one in around 80,790. And then go ahead and put one in around 78,166. Like just custom $10 order, $20 order, $5 order. Just accumulate if it drops further. Now, we could go all the way down to 74K, but by that time, like, you should hear about it, right? Because that's another $10,000 drop. And that kind of drop will be definitely covered in your news articles. If we fell all the way down to 74K, that would be about a 12.5% drop, which is going to warrant some news articles or entities or whatever you keep, your eye on, for them to notify you. I think it's going to get better, but I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, right? Kind of like when you hurt yourself, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Kind of the same thing. I think March, we might have like a bounce this upcoming week, but then we might dip back down even further. Oh, what's up, Ark? I haven't seen you in a while. Says he wished he had more money to buy the dip. Son of Rabbit Panda says if the candle closes full instead of like cross, then BTC would continue to go down next week. It's unfortunate, but here's the thing. I needed to take profits, and I didn't, for bills, and of course, I need to get down to mine disrupt, pay for travel, food, all that stuff. I didn't. Too late now. Some of you guys did. Congratulations. I should have taken profits when I had the opportunity now. I don't think we're going to get back up to those levels in the before mine disrupt, right? So 95K before mine disrupt, which is at the end of March. We could. I just don't think it's likely, because while we might have a bounce again Monday, Tuesday, we might trickle back down Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so on and so forth. So again, if you need to absolutely take profits, just do it. Like, it sucks that you have to, but there's no choice, right? So do what's best for you and your household, but try to minimize how much you're selling back into the hands of the few. All right. Bitcoin dip buyers step in Friday, but what might weekend action bring? Bitcoin bounced during the U.S. hours Friday as crypto and fear greed index overnight hits levels not seen since the depths of the 2022 bear market. I don't think we're in all right, so this is a short-term bear-ish situation. But I still believe if we zoom out, we're in a bull-ish situation. Okay? Like, look at that. Like, hello? 2024 is over here, right? Beginning of 2024 is right here. We're going up. Right? So we're still technically in a bullish market, but short term bearish. So hang tight, accumulate what you can, and I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine for sure. But it just sucks because tax returns are coming, so this will be a good opportunity if you pay all your bills with your tax return, which isn't going to be much, by the way. Good luck with that. And you're able to pay some of your bills down, and then grab some more Bitcoin or crypto. I mean, that's not a bad play either. But be smart with your money. Don't spend all of your tax return expecting, Bitcoin's going to pump in the next month, so I could just take profits then and then pay the debt that I was supposed to pay in the first place. No, pay your debts. Get out of debt as much as possible. Accumulate Bitcoin as you can. this article goes to say about the bounce, 84 plunging down to 78, blah, 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 15%, same thing. Fear and greed dipped down to 10. Haven't seen this since the bear market in 2022, but has also the bounce now residing at 16. That still is extreme fear range. We're at 20 right now, well below the last week's 55 of greed range. Levels above 75 are considered extreme greed, and the index hasn't been there since around the time of Trump inauguration, right? So all that hype around the Trump inauguration or the election has gone away. While we had some positive indicators, it wasn't enough to move the needle. Hence, we are here where we are now. It was always going to be like this. Some major cryptocurrencies like Solana ahead 5% of the CME announced plans that to add a SOL futures in the crypto platform on March 17th. SOL, however, remains off 36% over the past month and well beneath the levels it was at prior to the November election, right below $200 Solana. But there's still, the ETFs, the Litecoin ETFs possible, the Dogecoin possible, Solana possible, XRP possible. So altcoins, I believe, will have their day. It just may not be to fucking 2026, guys. I'm sorry to say. May not be to the end of 2025 or 2026. So it's very disappointing, right? Bitcoin drops to 3-month low, below 90K, risk off above, blah, blah, blah. Same shit. Same articles, same shit, right? Bitcoin is down. People are worried. Markets are scared. It's the same shit that they're stuffing down our throats. The fundamentals are sound, guys. The fundamentals are sound. So what are you going to do to better your life, to secure your financial freedom? Right? What are you going to do about it? Don't worry about me. Worry about you. Don't worry about that YouTuber or that crypto trader or that regulator or that politician or that person. Worry about you. What are you going to do to make your life better? That's the game plan you need to come up with. I can't come up with that for you. That's the game plan you need to come up with. Stop listening to everybody else tell you what to do. Take into consideration what they say, but you come up with your game plan. If you don't know how to game plan, educate yourself and then come up with a game plan. There's just way too much data and information out there for people not to be able to spend 30 minutes of research, find an answer or solution, and resolve the problem. Or work to resolve the problem. But is this the bottom? Right? Let's throw up a poll real quick just to get you guys engaged here on YouTube. Where is this the bottom of Bitcoin? So when will Bitcoin price bottom? I'm going to throw you guys up some options here. We're going to say March, right? So this is going to be the bottom. We got April. I'm going to add 2 more options. We're just going to add Qs. So like Q, what are we going into? We're going into Q2. So Q2 or Q3. There you go. Poll is up. Go ahead and vote or weigh out what your thoughts are. But is this the floor? Is this it? Well, unfortunately, I don't think so. This green line right here, which is basically 71K, you can see in the past, that was a previous high in March 2024, right? Of around 73, almost 74. We touched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So this green line right here, we could possibly move it up a hair, but I kind of have like the mean average between the higher wicks and the lower ones. So I'm going to say that 72 is it. Like, that's where we need to hold the line. We need to hold the line for sure at 72. Like, that's it. 300, get in front of the cliff. They can't get through the tunnel. Stop them. But I don't have the money to stop them. Do you? So hopefully, collectively, the crypto community can, kind of hold the line prevent Bitcoin from going down to such a level in the first place, right? 88, 86, 84, 82, 80, 78, 76, 72, and that's it, right? It's going to be unfortunate. Now, quick question. I'm not being an asshole, and don't get mad at me, but you know how our presidents, I don't care which side of the aisle there are, every time the economy does good, they want to take credit. Do they take credit when the economy is not doing as good? Yes or no? Like, they love taking credit when shit's going well, but when shit doesn't go well, it's always somebody else's fault, right? So let's see what happens. Hopefully they can improve the situation. Add a little bit more stability, right? The uncertainty, the concerns, the tariffs, the what's going to happen, you know, the Ukraine situation, the Gaza situation, the China-Taiwan situation. There's a lot of crap going on, guys. A lot of people are like, oh, what the hell is going to happen? What is going to happen? I believe the world and the cooler heads will prevail, but the problem is I'm one of the cooler heads, and I'm nowhere near one of those positions. So I pray and believe that the people in those positions will make the right choices. But there are some pretty weird people out there. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say everybody's weird, and there's some weirder people out there. So we'll see. So here's the futures gap. Did we close it? Yeah, I think we closed it. No, there's a CMA gap between 78K and 80K. Yeah, we closed it. Right? We did close it. That's what we needed to do. Because we always close the CME gap. Right, guys? We always close it. What was that gap at? Hang on. Let's zoom in. Right? So that 78,643. Oh, we kind of closed it. We kind of, we kind of closed it. Ooh, we closed it, but we didn't fully close it, maybe. And then look, there's another gap up here, so we have to go back up to 92, 94K. But I hope that counted as a close, because this says $78,030 to $80,730. So we definitely went all the way down to 78,643. So are there still going to be a little itty bitty gap of a couple $100? I hope not. I hope we close it. I really do hope that we close it, and we're just going to start marching back up forward. But we'll see here. What does this say? Bitcoin is getting closer and closer to filling the CME gap formed back in November 2024. The CME gap is between 78K and 80K. Says Rec Capital. Rec Capital additionally noted a CME gap to the upside around 92 to 94K, yada, yada, yada. CME gaps often function as short-term Bitcoin price magnets, getting filled within days or even hours after their creation. Even those gaps that remain open for longer tend to be revisited at a later date once Bitcoin's macro trend changes. Throughout the trip, the current record highs near 110, one time, yada, yada, yada. Sorry, but no, 90K was not the dip. Ooh. Who wrote that? Bitcoin? Who succeeded in calling various key Bitcoin highs and lows. Sorry, but no, 90K is not the dip. Now Bitcoin is referencing his long-term expectations of a trip to 70K mid-zone. Right, so I put us in at 72, 73, 74. Are you panicking yet? Panic buying or panic selling, he asked X followers on the February 28th. Bitcoin 1.8 billion in bids has appeared on the Binance futures pair. These bids are sitting between 70 to 79K, says trader Dan Crypto. So people are already betting that we're going to go down to that 70K range, right? And remember, 72K is the line. Like we don't want to go below that. We absolutely do not want to go below that. But it's unfortunately possible. What happens when bids like these appear is varied. Sometimes price never moves into them. When it does start hitting them, it often fills a lot of them before shortly reversing. Keep in mind, these are bids that can just as easily be pulled away, highlighting this as it's an insane amount And this is something you rarely ever see. This is Bitcoin's correction we've been waiting for. I'm looking for a wick to the trend line. More importantly, I'm looking for buyers to come in as long as they don't front run me. And that was at 79K. Which, we touched. This article came out on February 28th, so yesterday. We did, hit that 79K, past 79K actually, right? The 78. Are we done? Are we ready for this bounce to move to the upside? I want to hope so, but Bitcoin does what it wants. February was supposed to be green, but it didn't turn out that way. Moving on, Senator Cynthia Lummis, right? Says that my bets are that you'll see a state have a Bitcoin strategic reserve before the federal government, which I believe too, right? The states have been moving faster than the federal government. The federal government basically just shot up the flare saying that it's approved. If we're going to do it, states can do it. The states started moving on it. And here we have state after state after state, basically working on creating a Bitcoin reserve. Right? If all these states start buying Bitcoin, that should be good stimulation for the Bitcoin economy, for the Bitcoin price action. But we've been seeing a lot of inflows and a lot of, hey, we're bought this much and we bought that much. I do believe Michael Saylor, though, in February or at the end of January, said that MicroStrategy was not buying any more Bitcoin. And then obviously it crashed. So is he going to buy some more now? Or are they going to buy more now? We'll have to see. She's got a bill dubbed the Bitcoin Act, calls for the U.S. Treasury Department to gradually accumulate 1 million Bitcoin, ultimately acquiring a total stake of approximately 5% of total Bitcoin supply, mirroring the size and scope of gold reserve held by the United States. You can see more on her website. Progress toward the Bitcoin reserve. In January, U.S. President, signed an executive order requiring federal officials to study the feasibility of national Bitcoin supply. It was one of the first actions of Trump's second presidential term. And, that was step one. They have a party or a gathering March 7th. I would say that's like step 1.2, maybe 1.25. And I believe that the U.S. government is going to continue marching towards completing this. Meanwhile, you got 18 states that have crypto reserve bills pending Senate votes, while 2, Arizona and Utah, are in the final stages of the approval process. State crypto investment bills have been rejected in Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Pennsylvania. Although some states run by Democrats might resist Trump's crypto-friendly stance, others are expecting to embrace crypto as a bipartisan issue. There are many states out there that are pro-crypto, regardless if they're Democrat or Republican. And they don't necessarily follow blue or red policies. Exactly, says Ashi Gun. Coinbase's senior manager for U.S. policy, said during a February 28th ETH Denver panel attended by Cointelegraph, which I hope if you're there that you guys are having a good time. Be safe. We believe that the enactment of the Bitcoin Act in the United States will have a more profound long-term impact on Bitcoin than the launch of ETFs, says CoinShares. So things are still going. Things are still in motion. It's just not enough to really, sustain the markets. They want more, right? We're greedy mofos, and we want bull markets to the moon when, and that's it. It's either all fear or all greed. It's never consistent uptrend, right? We move sideways for the longest time, over 100 plus days, 104 days, but we didn't get, some juicy meat upwards or downwards. Here's the juicy meat. Here's the big drop. You satisfied now? You happy now? Probably not. Ethereum faces bearish pressure as sentiment hits a 12-month low. Can ETH avoid dropping below $2,000? I don't think it will. I don't think it will avoid it. I think Ethereum will fall below 2K, unfortunately. We're not too far off from it. Just to get to where we, it basically almost did it. 2,086, but to go from where we are now to below 2K is only a 9% dip. So certainly within the realm of possible. And if you see here on the daily, we're not putting in a green. Yeah, that we wick back up, but we're not putting it in green daily. Whereas on Bitcoin, we're at least putting in a green daily. So Ethereum's on some shaky ground, and I know the team is working, the devs and the overall Ethereum ecosystem team is working hard to continue building and make Ethereum better, but it's lost all its luster. Is it safe to say that? Would you guys agree with that? Like, Ethereum has lost, even if you weren't a miner, right? Ethereum has lost its luster. It's not a project that is, it's the biggest one, it's the biggest dApp, it's the biggest DeFi ecosystem, but it's kind of losing its pizzazz, its luster. I don't know if you agree with that. Let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, could it shed? The cryptocurrency has shed more than 230 billion in market capitalization since December 2024. Crypto investment manager OX Lewis T took to X to share a chart indicating the sentiment around Ethereum at its lowest point in a year. A drop below 2,000 could intensify bearish sentiment, putting further pressure on Ethereum. And I do believe that there's going to be even more pressure. I think I got a package coming. Hang on one second. Might have a package for you guys or a package for me. Might not. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah. Nope. We good. Oh, by the way, if Ethereum does fall below 2K, you might have an influx of miners, right? The miners that only mine ETH hash. Even though Ethereum is not mineable, it's going to affect the other Ethereum type tokens, whether it's ETC hash, Ethereum proof of work. This Bitcoin and Ethereum downtrend that we're getting right now is hurting the mining profitability. It has continued to go down ever since Ethereum should have never moved from proof of work. Let's just leave it at that. Ethereum should have never moved from proof of work, because I guarantee you, if it didn't, it would be a lot better than what it is right now. And I know you're saying how you can't guarantee that. I can't. But the way the ecosystem was going and the strength it had with the miners on its side, if it could have operated in some hybrid form to where they had, because we were doing that for the longest time towards the end there, the nodes, the validators were still operating on the POS side, but the miners were still mining. There was a level of MEV being spread throughout the ecosystem, miners and validators. If they could have kept that hybrid system going, everybody would have been better off, in my opinion. But they said, hey, we wanted to move away from proof of work. Here we are. Like, using electricity is bad. We got to move away from it, yada, yada, yada. Here we are now, all these data centers, AI, compute, eating up the same amount of electricity that we would have ate up anyways. So we still need to improve our infrastructure. We still need to get better about our energy usage, and we still need to reach or meet the demands of these energy infrastructure or companies. So Ethereum should have stayed proof of work. I know, I just went on a rant there. My bad. XRP Doge plunged 10% as fresh Trump tariffs hit China markets. More altcoin news, right? XRP, I don't really care too much for XRP, but I know a lot of people do. Dropping 10% led to losses among crypto majors as a confirmation of the fresh U.S. tariffs. China hits Asian markets on Friday, adding to a already tumultuous week for cryptocurrency. Talking about how Bitcoin dropped, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We already know about that. The CoinDesk 20 dropped by 9%. The S&P also, the crypto's given Bitcoin high correlation with S&P 500 index traders say. So we're still kind of correlated between the traditional markets, or at least the S&P and Bitcoin, which sucks. I definitely don't want that. I noticed, though, that the start of the downtrend on Bitcoin happened in the middle of the night. Did you guys notice that too? Like, it was like the Asian market started us on this downtrend. So Friday's losses in the crypto markets mirrored those of the Chinese stock, which slumped after Trump announced a 10% tariff on Chinese imports. This added to worries about the growing trade war between the U.S. and China, the world's two largest economies, yada, yada, yada. The move comes ahead of Chinese big annual meeting, the National People's Congress, starting next week, where leaders are expected to share economic plans and growth plans. The decision in China to spend more or encourage buying to boost the economy could impact Bitcoin and crypto prices and serve as a market catalyst, making a key data point to watch next week. Bullish option speculators are throwing in the towel as well, with volatility coming lower against a lower spot price as calls are being dumped in favor of puts. But I did notice in the middle of the night, right before I went to bed, we started to drop. And then I woke up and we were dropping good. We were dropping really good. But yeah, XRP open interest is dropping. Solana is losing its steam. Ethereum might gain against Solana in March. But all altcoins are suffering. Bitcoin is, we got to hold that 72K. That's all I got to say. We got to hold that 72K. Anyways, we got Red Panda Mining coming on soon here shortly in about 6 minutes. If you want to hang around, I'll make sure to send you guys on over to them. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, something you want to ask me, I've been helping out a number of you in various ways. For example, a gentleman was reaching out to me about some issues with a What's miner. I believe another one was reaching out to me about something to do with some micro miners like BitAxes or something like that. Let's go check out the mining profitability. Got an ASIC miner value. Of course, looking at Bitcoin profitability, look at how much just has diminished, guys. So some of these miners were, I think, closer to the 20s. So it didn't drop down too much, but it did drop. But comparatively, right, the highest Bitcoin miner, which is the S21E XP Hydro 3U, which is making about $15 a day at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Comparatively, again, script miners are G's. Like, they've been consistently doing well. Yeah, they didn't blow you away when the Caspa craze was going on, but they've been consistently doing well, and it's good to see. Litecoin was doing very well comparatively to Bitcoin. Matter of fact, let's go to Litecoin chart. Look at that. Right? While everybody else was going down, taking a hit, Litecoin was pushing up, baby, which is pretty cool. I mean, obviously, it did drop all the way down to 105 on the 25th of February. Let's go back here real quick. So February 25th, right here, Tuesday, right? So that was a drop, but Bitcoin continued to drop while Litecoin, right, reversed, right? So 24th and 25th, bad for everybody. Litecoin continued to push, continue to try to reclaim, right, and get above what I think is the middle of the Bollinger Band, and it's still around 125. So, like, profitability-wise, Litecoin and script mining is looking pretty damn good, right? Now, let's go look at the GPU market. It's crap, but it's been crap for the longest time. And every time it seems like a new project might be able to come and help out the crypto mining community, it doesn't, right? Waglela's new, but its profitability is not sustained a level at which, miners will pivot all of their rigs to it. Cryptex came out, again, before it started showing up. Anything that shows up before, shows that you can mine before it shows up on miningpoolstats.stream or hashrate.no or whattomine.com or any of the other sites. If you can mine it before it gets on those charts, and I showed you and talked about how you can find some of these tokens prior to it showing up on these websites or charts, you can make a decent profit if you're quick enough. The problem is you have to be able to get your funds on the centralized exchange that supports or lists that token before everybody else. And on top of that, there might not even be enough liquidity or enough buyers or sellers in order for you to move your position. So it's a catch-22, but if you can, and there is enough liquidity, you can wind up mining a bunch before everybody else is on it and then selling it. It's just hard to line that up or to get that just in time. Yeah, yields are very low on Litecoin, but the merge mining, like, I've been consistently making 13 Doge a day. What is let's see, Doge to USD, which that doesn't sound like a lot, but $2.64 a day. You know, Doge took a hit as well. If we go to the past 5 days, you know, and it's recovered too. Look. Right? So the market crashed. Let's go 1 month. So market crashed. I wouldn't say it recovered too much. It's stabilizing, right? It is on a slight incline, but it's stabilizing. So, but I'm still making, when you're mining, you're still making the same amount of the currency. It's just the fiat value is shit. So if you believe in the project, you still can earn that asset. It's just what that asset's going to be valued at is dependent upon the market conditions. The market conditions are crap right now. Qual fell down quite a bit and uses a lot of power relative to the other assets. And by the way, the power draw that it's showing here for Waglela isn't accurate. Like, I got some better clocks that I show in my video that I draw a lot less power and still make significant amounts of Wela, if anybody is interested in that. But yeah, Red Panda Mining is about to go live. I'm going to send you all on over there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Doesn't seem like we have any questions or comments. Many of you already left. But I hope you all had a wonderful day and continue to have a wonderful day. And just take care of yourself. That's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and stop this poll. What do we say here? When will Bitcoin price bottom? 40% March, 34% April. Q3 has 25%. So we're thinking where we're at is the bottom, or close to the bottom right now is what we're thinking, is what it looks like. So I have to wait and see. All right, send you guys on over to Red Panda Mining. You guys have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by wherever you are on X, Twitch, and stuff like that. I'll catch you in the next one. And don't forget to grab your tickets for Mine Disrupt. Link is in the description.
You definitely got to come to Mining Disrupt, the largest mining-focused conference. It's pretty dang awesome.
It's a great opportunity for the people.
Let's go out and make some money with it.
Get engaged. Defend